Okay, Liam, just a very brief reflection on Tuesday night, if we can. I mean, how much did you enjoy the game? How much did you enjoy the occasion?
Yeah, definitely afterwards. I think that helps you enjoy it more. I think obviously when you get the win and the game's finished, I think in the moment, yeah, it's difficult to enjoy it because obviously so emotionally invested in the game and so focused on what we need to do to get the performance and the result. So yeah, it was a really good evening. I think for everybody involved with the club, whether it's staff, players, fans. I think it was like I say, a really good evening, but and a really important 3 points. But at the same point, you still just get the 3 points, right? So we have to make sure that we take the positives, we take the confidence into the game tomorrow.
And I guess some of those players won't have experienced an atmosphere at an occasion like that.
No, I thought it was brilliant walking out and seeing the flags and the noise. I referenced it. I think after the game on Tuesday, I thought the support was terrific. It was it's a cliche, but they were the 12th man. They were massive for us in terms of getting through the second half and maintaining the levels of control. And when you hear that and you see that, it can give the players such a lift. And I think that in our home games between now and the end of the season, if we can keep that, it'll be massive.
I think I said during commentary that I can't see MK Dons going the rest of this week without bringing a goalkeeper in, and you've done that with Jamie Cumming. Just explain, was that one of the things that was as we were talking about in the pipeline?
Yeah, obviously we knew there was the potential with Fish. There was a lot of noise around it. And you know, I think what Liam Sweeten does a terrific job of, and it's constant is, we're constantly looking at who's next, what's next, when situations like that happen. I think, yeah, the timing made it difficult to move quickly to replace Fish. You're ultimately with the deadlines you have to hit in terms of registering players was impossible. But we've been tracking Jamie, we've been doing a lot of work on him. And he's proved that he can play at this level. And if you look at the data and the stats around him, he's been a high performer. So he really fits the bill of the club and what we're looking for. So when we knew it was a possibility, it was one that we wanted to move quickly on.
And do I presume that Jamie will come in and start as opposed to Franco?
You'll have to wait and see. can't
Okay,
tell you that one, but
we will wait and see.
I think on a note, look, Franco did terrific the other night. I think it makes it a lot easier. I think if Franco steps in and doesn't perform to the level he has. So I think what he has shown, Franco, is shown real progress. I think back to the Wickham game here in the Papa John's, how he did okay that evening, but there were certain moments where there's a couple of mistakes. As you see his progress from that to the Leighton Orient game, then the Charlton game, and then Tuesday. Spoken with Franco, a few times, and he's such a terrific guy, which is ultimately why he's going to continue to improve. So I was delighted for him, how he stepped in and performed on Tuesday.
Luton manager Nathan Jones has come out and made a few comments about Peter Kioso, obviously their player and his development at Stadium MK. Has there been any conversation about Peter Kioso going back to Luton, or will he remain an MK Dons player for the rest of this season?
As it stands, I haven't been informed anything around him returning. I think but when we looked at it, he'd had a heavy week. With Aki as well, we felt actually, with where he was at, his Achilles was a little sore, etc. We felt the right thing to do was, to actually try and give him a rest, so that we can keep him in the best shape possible and keep him fit for the rest of the season. So I haven't been told anything different in terms of him returning. So as it stands, I'm planning for him to be here.
We've just spoken to Tenai, and really interesting how those two players have really improved each other to a certain extent. Both vying for the same position. And Tenai is a player, an example of how you get your head down, you work hard, you take your chances when you are selected. He's a great professional.
Yeah, I can't speak highly enough of T and his character, his professionalism. I think we sat down early on when Peter first came in and actually spoke and said the challenge is to drive each other, and I really think you see that now. I think each of them has forced each other to raise their level and deliver performances, and I think that's what you're seeing now. I think T stepped in at times and done terrifically well, and I think it's forced Peter to do better. And I think what's really important to stress is they're both going to be really important members of the squad to the end of the season. So I think the demands physically we put on our wing backs is massive. So I think going Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday is it does take its toll. And what we need and what we want from that position is people that are in positions to have the energy, have the the drive, and physically be in a position ready to deliver the performances you need there. So they're both key players for us between now and the end of the season, and like I say, I can't speak highly enough of T's professionalism and also Peter's.
Have you had any approaches during this transfer window for your players?
Any specifics or in general?
Let's go in general first, and then I can narrow it down.
Yeah, I'm wondering who you got in mind. No, to be totally honest, no, nothing concrete. To be honest, we've had a couple of loose conversations, which obviously goes through Liam, but nothing concrete put on the table. Obviously, apart from the fish one.
Portsmouth up next then for MK Dons. A real opportunity to take that momentum from Tuesday night into a difficult fixture against a side who are vying for promotion again, and a place that MK Dons have found in the past quite difficult to go and get a result.
Yeah, I think it's first and foremost a really exciting game for fans, for players as well. I think we have to go into it with that approach that we can't wait to get going and relish the challenge of going away and putting on a performance. And look, the guys have done it, a couple of times. I remember maybe not got the win, but we did a great performance at Ipswich earlier in the year. Going away to Wigan, spells against Sheff Wednesday. I think we've shown that we can go away and do it, and that's the exciting bit with the group. So much potential is, can we make sure that we deliver that as a performance tomorrow to get the result that we want. So I think it's a really exciting game. I remember the home game here, and I remember speaking with the staff and players afterwards. It felt like a championship level game in terms of the physical, the mental, and the tactical challenge that we had in the game. And we expect that again tomorrow. So we've made sure that we've done all the prep that we need to going into the game, and then it's on us and the players then to step up and deliver.
Cheers, Liam. Thank you.
You mentioned it a few times, grounds that build up quite a vociferous atmosphere, but silence in the Fratton Park ground tomorrow will be a massive part of getting things in your the momentum swinging in your favour, won't it?
Yeah, I think with the experience of the group, it's one we've learned to deal with better as the season's gone by. I think it's and that's the exciting thing about having a young group. I think that fearlessness we have to use that as a real strength of ours. And I think it can. I think you can thrive off the crowd as well, even if it's up against you. I think it can, it can really bring forward that fighting spirit in you to prove people, to prove a point, to people. And I think that's how we kind of have to see it tomorrow. How do we thrive off the energy in the stadium? And the way I think that we do that is by dominating the game. So that's the challenge for us. We have a good idea. We think what they might do, and then we obviously, most importantly, understand what we want to do. And that's the bit for the guys. Can they feed off that energy, but not be distracted by it. Stay focused on the plan. Stay focused on what we need to do to be successful.
I know you don't look at the league table, but now that you're up in those playoff spots, I suppose it's now about consolidating that space and not dropping out of it again and starting to build up that momentum towards the end of the season now, where you may be able to take a sniff at that top two.
Yeah, I think. We'll look at it probably as time goes by. I think you can't not, right? But I think where we're at, there is still masses to play for. I think it can change so drastically still. I think I said it to the guys the other day, they've done such a terrific job so far, but we don't want to be nearly men. We want to make sure that week in, week out, we churn out performances and results. And the guys have done that of late. I think it's the performances have been good, and the results not always maybe got what we feel we could have from games. So I think it's the challenge, going into the game tomorrow. Take it as a single game where 3 points to play for, and if we can go and play to the level I know the guys are capable of, then I think it'll be a really good game and one we have a good chance of winning.
And Luke might not have been specific, but I'll be a little bit more specific about it. Reports on Zach Jules potentially having to move to Fleetwood. Any truth to that?
Yeah, we're looking at the potential loan for Zach. So again, not confirming where it is, but. Zach, I can't speak highly enough of Zach's character. He's not played the football he wanted to. I know there's been frustration at times, but I think we want to support him in terms of his plan, his development, and what he needs to progress. And we feel getting games at this level will help that. So he's going out to look at a loan club today. Nothing confirmed yet, so it still needs to be finalised. But it's something that we feel would benefit him and the club.
How are you finding the January window so far? It always feels like it's a bit of a messy one, particularly from a journalist's point of view, because there's so many moving parts. It's often left till the very end, and at least at the summer you've got a little bit of downtime to potentially start to look at these things. But how are you finding it so far, and the sort of hectic nature of it?
Yeah, really easy, nice, calm, relaxed, no stress whatsoever. Nah, I think it's obviously my first January in this position, and it's been a great learning curve. I think in terms of finding out how people and clubs operate. I think in terms of succession planning strategies, like you say, and having scenario A, B, C. That it's then. I think the key to it is trying to be as least reactive as possible. It's about trying to be proactive. So like I said, and I mentioned him highly because he's done a terrific job. Liam Sweeten. When you look at the recruitment he's done here and the work he puts in behind the scenes, which a lot of people won't know about, is constant. So we were working on January when the last window shut, and I'm sure he was working on this January even before that. So I think that's the key to it, and I think that's where elements of the game have changed. That there's less reactions now. I think it's more people are working, and we're definitely working to go right. If this happens and he moves on, these are the 3-4 options behind that. And there's a huge amount of work, whether it's video, whether it's data, whether it's getting your eyes, getting your feeling, character references, whatever it might be. It's doing all of that work so that, if scenario A happens, we're ready to move swiftly. Hence, we knew Jamie was the right fit for us. So I think that's a good example where we had an idea that the Fish one might happen, and we had obviously potential lineups, and Jamie, to be fair, was number one, which was obviously really pleasing we were able to get him.